Hey y'all, welcome back to the Board Game Archives. Now I am really excited to see how many of y'all keep on tuning back in. At the time of me recording, we have 177 subscribers. That's amazing. And so what I thought I could do right now is to switch it up a little bit. Rather than talking about board games this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So that way you get to know a little bit about the person behind the channel. So with that being said, allow me to show you a quick day in my life so you can get to know me better. I start at the DART station nearby my house. DART stands for Dallas Area Rapid Transit, and so I take my morning commutes to work here. What's really nice is that it's just $6 a day, and by doing it all the time like I do, the price gets discounted, and so it saves me a lot of money on gas and on toll tags. So all in all, it's a really good deal economically. It's also very relaxing to be able to ride the train every single day. I'm not sure exactly why, but whenever I'm riding as a passenger in some sort of vehicle, like a train or a car or something like that, I get very relaxed and very sleepy. And so that may be a bad thing since this is the beginning of my day, but it's always been a very relaxing thing for me, and so that's how I start my mornings, on the DART train. Now, for those of you who don't know me personally, I'm actually a teacher. I'm a high school history teacher. History is something that I have always loved. I excelled at history when I was in school. I'm a current college student learning history as I teach. And so as a result, history has been a driving force for me. And so being able to teach it to the next generation has always been a really important thing to me. So I love being able to do that and inspire the next generations. Now for a very quick lunch break at my local tavern. And then for a quick costume change. I always like to change up my outfits because the room that I teach in always gets very stuffy, and so I smell gross by the end of the day. So I like to take a quick little shower, and then in the time I have before I start teaching again, I just like to go to the art room and start messing around with the art teacher's stuff. It's a lot of fun to be able to just mess with people, especially because I'm actually friends with the guy. So yeah. Now, once I get home, I go and start recording. If you have watched any video on this channel, you would recognize this specific table. What I do is I set my phone in this little tripod camcorder, and then I set up this specific table with whatever game I'm recording, and then I start from there. So what I typically do is I pick out a specific game. In this scenario, I'm picking a game called Axis and Allies, a game that I've already reviewed here on the channel. And what I do is that I keep on going to get the perfect shot. What I like to do is slide the game into frame. And so I just keep on going back and forth to see what is the best possible shot. I am a perfectionist, so I always try and get like 5 or 6 shots every single time I record something so that it's the best it could possibly be. And then once I find something that I'm happy with, I call it a day, and there we are. So not the best scenario here, it is a bit off to the top, but then I take my breaks. So this is my bedroom. I am a really big fan of reading and stuffed animals, as you can tell. And so this is my little oasis whenever I need a break away from people. I just sit and I read. What I like to do whenever I read my books is that I read them in so-called eras. So I find maybe 5 or 6 books that all have to do with each other. So maybe I have 3 books that have to do with the American railroad industry. Maybe I have 5 books about the history of Christianity, things of that nature. Right now I'm reading about the history of cities. So I have a book about New York City's history, a book about Rome's history, a book about Paris's history. This book I'm reading right now is a book about Budapest. I'm not done yet, but it is really interesting. I like learning about the culture, the economics, the politics of places that I've never been to or lived in. I also make sure that I rest in between my day. This is being recorded at about 3 to 4 p.m., so taking a nap about this time is what I typically do to have more energy later in the evening. Although I like to do as much as I can every single day and achieve the most that I can, I also recognize that taking breaks and resting is very important for your body and your soul. Once I'm rested up, I go to my local park. There's a park maybe 2 to 3 miles away from my house, and it is amazing. So there are soccer fields, there are baseball fields, there are places to grill, there are places to camp out, all these different things. So it's always lovely to come in on a weekend because even though it looks barren here, when it's a Saturday, let's say 3 p.m., it is just packed. Now, why I love it so quiet now is because I get views like this. This is my favorite view of the whole park. It's not the best it could be because it is a bit cloudy today, but I love this overall view of the lake and the trees in the background and the walking trail that goes all around it. This is a very tranquil place, and if you have a park anywhere near where you live, I highly recommend you take some time outside. So what I typically like to do, because I'm trying to lose some weight right now, I like to do a couple of laps around this walking trail. The walking trail, I believe, is about 1.5 miles in total. I always try and reach that 10,000 step mark, and so whatever steps I didn't get throughout the day, I try and make up for here at this park. Once I get home and shower up, I come into my bedroom and I start editing my videos. So this is a spreadsheet showing all the video plans that I have. I have green videos for things that I've already done and red that I haven't finished yet. I always like to pick up a specific vinyl to listen to as I work because I feel that I work better with music. But just as I was telling you earlier, all of these red squares are different videos that I haven't gotten around to yet, so I promise y'all I have so much more in store for you if you're willing to stick around. Very quick side note, I have become a huge fan of IKEA. They have these glass carafes where you just pop open the lid like that and you're able to pour in the water. It's like $3. If you have an IKEA nearby, I highly recommend you go to IKEA. This is not sponsored. I am just a huge fan of IKEA. IKEA, please sponsor me. So now at this point in my day, it's dinner time. So I like to sit, I like to eat, I like to watch my shows as I eat. And so I haven't cooked today. I ordered food because I was lazy. I've got some of the Flash going on as I eat, and this is a little bit of a brain break before I get back to work. Now, like I said earlier, I am a college student as well as a teacher, so 3 days a week I come to campus after school, after work, after dinner, all of that, just so that I can be able to study, go to classes, things of that nature. I just wanted to take some time and walk a little bit slower than usual, just so I can show you how beautiful the walk to my classes are. After class, inside the university is a museum on the top floor of the library, so I always like to come in and see what else they have. Right now they're having an astronomical exhibit, so they have all these different maps from back in the 1600s, and they have all these different diagrams and things that I didn't know existed. That map I just showed you on the wall is from like, I think the early 1700s or something like that. So it's always really cool to come in and see if they have something new. At the end of the day, I always like to look at the sunset as I think it's beautiful from this specific point of view. By the time I'm done in a specific day with all of my classes and work and all that, it's about 8:30 to 9 p.m., so I am just exhausted by everything that I've done. So I'm gonna get straight home, I'm gonna shower up, I'm gonna rest up, and I'm gonna get ready for my day tomorrow. As always, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I'll see y'all next time.